really excited. I think we put ourselves in a great position, and I think from what the season has unfolded, us as a club and us as players, we've grown tremendously, and yeah, we've got to just keep on pushing, because you obviously look at the Falkirk game, maybe early in the season, we might not have the same result, but it just shows where the boys are mentally and obviously physically, just to put that real resilience into games and push it over the line.
I don't know if the Opta supercomputer is your thing, but they have you as favourites to win the league. 47% chance apparently. Do you feel like the favourites to win this league?
It's in our hands, and we only can concentrate on ourselves, and our aim is obviously to win every single game until now to the end of the season. And that's what we have to focus on. And, you know, we always say every game's a cup final from the start of the season, which it is. But these games are the exact same. We've got to approach it the exact same manner as we have been doing towards obviously the end part of the season, and getting the wins no matter what.
How strong is the belief that you can do it?
The belief's in the squad. I think you've seen it over the past couple of months of the results that we put in, the performances that we've been putting in, and obviously we've been giving the gaffer a big headache on team selection. So yeah, we're in a great place, but we obviously got to stay humble and be really driven, which I know we are. But yeah, we've just got to keep on pushing each other and applying ourselves to the maximum from in training and in games.
The conversation we would have been having with 5 games gone rather than 5 games to go would have been entirely different, I would imagine. Could you ever have foreseen getting yourself back into this position?
I think I said at the start of the season, it's obviously a long season. You know, to go the whole campaign and only lose 2 games, which you wouldn't have thought for how many points we're actually on. But I think the transformation of what the team's done, and even players that have been here for the first year to experience what the first went through, and to now to the end of the season, they've really dug deep and made themselves stronger mentally. And I think it's showing now as a team and how we're all contributing together.
What do you think's been key to that, to getting yourself back in such a strong position?
Obviously, you never want to see a manager get sacked during the season. You know, as players, we obviously take the responsibilities of that. But since gaffer Danny's came in, he's brought obviously his input into the team. He's really calmed a lot of the noise for the players, and I think the boys have all just fed off that, and they've been working hard behind the scenes, and I think that's what it's been. And we've been obviously getting closer to one another throughout the season, and I think it helps, and the boys are really in tune with each other now.
You mentioned team selection headaches. You've maybe not started quite as often as you used to, over your time as a Rangers player. What's that been like? You content enough with that role at the moment?
It's obviously frustrating, because I want to start every single game, and my body's not slowing up one bit. But if I'm asked to obviously be on the sideline, then I'm going to support the boys no matter what, and put my input in the team and just be myself. But all I can do is, when given the moment or when I start, is give it my absolute best for the team.
Is that something that you speak to the manager about, given your sort of stature within the club as the leader and the time you've been here? Does he speak to you specifically about that, or do you just sort of take it in the chin when these things don't go your way?
We obviously had conversations, but it's one of those where it's not a conversation for every occasion, and it's something that you just have to take, be responsible. Obviously, being one of the senior boys in the team, you've got to obviously lead by example, and hopefully I've managed to do that.
What stage are talks on your future at?
Taking day by day. My wife was asking me about the holiday, and I said that's too far ahead to me even think about. So, I take day by day. I'm not a person who really thinks 2 weeks ahead down the line. Really just try and focus on just this week, my training, and obviously my kids' schedule. So it's a hectic life I live. So yeah, that's something obviously be communicated probably further down the line.
Further down the line, do you expect something on that before the season ends or over the summer?
Well, that's down to obviously my representatives and the club. I can only really focus on myself every single day of how I apply myself, which I've done since I first came here. So, yeah, my main objective is just take day by day and see where it goes.
Do you want to stay at Rangers beyond this season?
It's obviously something that I've been here for a long time, and it's something that, you know, I'll never shut the door on. But I've obviously got to wait and see what happens.
You've had your hands on that trophy once before. If this was to be the end of this long relationship, that'd be a fitting way to go out by doing it again.
Well, that's obviously the main objective from every start of the season. You wanna be putting your hands on that trophy at the end of the season, and I think this season the boys have really put ourselves into a great position. So, you know, we need to finish it off strong and not just have, you know, a part of this season where we did really well.
Top man, thank you, mate.